Hi everyone, this is Mary here on Mary Reads. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will talk about my 5 favorite Russian classics books. I have only put 5 books on this list because there are many more Russian classic novels that I still haven't read, that I want to read, that I'm going to be reading this year. And maybe in like a year or two, I will make another video on the same topic with some additions. So far, I've only chosen 5 books that I think were amazing. All of these books are novels. None of them are poetry or short story or any other form of literature. I love novels. I love longer forms in books, so we'll talk about the 5 novels. Let's dive right in. But before we begin, please do not forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel not to miss any future videos. The first book is Anakarina by Leo Tolstoy. I have this Russian edition here. I don't know what English editions there are, so I won't be able to suggest what translation to read, unfortunately. If you know, please let me know in the comments. I would love to know what editions there are and what translations you can choose from. I love Tolstoy's language. I love how he writes. I love every sentence, every word of it. Tolstoy does such a great job describing the environment, which I love because it gives you a better understanding of the scene and a better understanding of, in general, the society or the person we're talking about. In this novel, we follow 2 couples, so we basically have 2 plot lines. The first one is Anna with her lover, and the second one is Levin with his love interest, which I don't want to spoil, so I'm not going to give a name. But basically, by showing us these 2 couples, Tolstoy is trying to mirror them. Anna and her lover live in the city. Their love is, let's say, not legitimate. They did not get married. They have a lot of struggles on their way to happiness. And on the other side, we have Levin, who marries a woman that he loves, who lives in the country, who has his land, so who does a lot of physical labor. And his love obviously is right, so he got married. He wants to have a family. And by this, Tolstoy is kind of trying to push this correct or right lifestyle onto us. This is what often happens in Tolstoy's novels. He definitely has a position that he believes in, and he's showing us what is right. I don't necessarily love this in books, but here I have to say that I do. I love everything that Tolstoy writes here, and I don't mind him giving me this lesson. Yes, in the beginning I was a little bit judgmental because who are you to tell me how I'm supposed to live? Especially since the time have changed a lot and the world doesn't work the same way anymore. But then I realized that yeah, why not? That's his belief. He lived that way. He believed that this is the only right way to live. He wanted to show other people how he believes is right to live. Was Tolstoy perfect? Did he know best? I don't think so. But why not? It's his novel. It's his idea. It's his lifestyle. Why not tell us about his beliefs and thoughts in his book? As for Anna as a character, I love that Tolstoy doesn't make her bad. He doesn't say that, oh, everything she does is a mistake. Based on a lot of literature experts, Tolstoy actually liked Anna. He understood why she was doing certain things. She was looking for happiness. She was looking for love. She wanted passion and true feelings. Yes, he probably still judged her for her decisions, but he understood why she was making these decisions. And we see this in the book. We see how lonely Anna is. We see how much she longs for love and happiness that other people have. And she is struggling to get that with her husband. So she's starting to look for it. And at that time, everything was harder than it is today with getting a divorce, finding a new person to be with. So we see all of her struggles. She knows that she might be making a mistake. She knows what society is going to think of her, but she can't help it. She wants to be happy, and Tolstoy knows that, we know that, and we see that through this book. The next book is Fathers and Sons by Turgenev, and by the name of this book, you have probably understood that this book is going to cover the generational issue, how fathers are different from their sons, how beliefs and traditions are different in two different generations. Here, our main character is a young man in his, I think, early 20s. He is a nihilist. He does not believe in tradition. He does not believe basically in anything that he cannot prove. He does not believe in feelings. He does not believe in God. He does believe in science. He is studying to be a doctor, and he says that unless I basically see it and prove it, I don't believe this exists. We also have his friend who respects our main character a lot and is trying to kind of be a nihilist himself. But from what I saw him as, he has more traditional views on life. He still wants to get married. He still wants to have a family. He still is at least somewhat religious. And he, I felt, was this bridge kind of between generations. So he was this little thread that helped one generation understand the other generation. In the bigger picture, this novel is not just about this one man who is a nihilist. No, this novel is about the denial of old norms and traditions and the beginning of something new, the desire to have something new. The book came out in 1862, a year after probably the most important reform of 1861, which was the Emancipation Reform that freed over 23 million serfs. Basically, it abolished serfdom, and whoever was a serf was let go. And of course, on the wave of this new life, new norms, new traditions, Fathers and Sons becomes a sensation. And I think this is a type of book that is not only sensational in a certain period of time. It is always sensational. The new generation is always different from the previous one. And I believe that no matter when we read this book, 100 years ago, today, or in 100 years, we will always be able to find the ideas that will become a food for thought for us. Book number 3 is Ablomov by Ivan Goncharov. I've talked about this book before. I don't remember exactly in which one of my videos, but I've definitely talked about this novel before. Here we follow Ablomov, who is a part of higher society in Russia. His life is very slow, uneventful. He doesn't have any ambitions, and he rarely even gets off of his couch. The only thing he does is thinks about and imagines the life in his family home in the countryside. How amazing it's going to be, what he will need to do, what he will need to renovate, how many people he will need to serve him, what his daily life is going to look like. But of course, these are all of his imaginations and thoughts. We never see real action. As an opposite to Ablomov, we have his best childhood friend, Andrei, who is, again, very opposite from what Ablomov is. He's ambitious, he's full of life, he always goes to these societal events. He wants to get married, he wants to make money, he wants to do this and that and everything. And he, for a certain period of time, gets Ablomov out of this slump, and he makes him do something which is very unnatural to our main character. And he does it. He does things. He gets a new suit. He goes out somewhere. He even is trying to find love. But that's unnatural to him. That's not what he wants to do. And eventually we will see how these unnatural things pushed on him are going to affect him. This novel, kind of like Fathers and Sons, show the death of old Russia and the birth of the new one, the birth of new ideas, new beliefs, new traditions, and the death of these old ones, the death of this old Russian higher class society, and the birth of the new one, the more active one, the more ambitious one. Novel number 4 is Master and Margarita by Bulgakov. I've talked so much about this novel, I'm not even gonna stop here for a very long time. This novel was written during Stalin's rule, so of course, as you can imagine, it was banned for a very long time. And when it was first published, it was very abridged. We did not see a full text. And today, thankfully, we can read the novel in full. Here we have 3 storylines. One is of Pontius Pilate, the second one is of Devil coming to Soviet Moscow, and the third line is the line of Master, who is an unsuccessful writer. His book was not taken by the editor, and his devoted lover, Margarita. Of course, these 3 storylines get intertwined, and I, of course, loved, as probably so many people loved, the part of Devil coming to Moscow. This book will mock Soviet regime. This book will mock Soviet people. This book will talk about what's good and what's evil. Is Devil actually evil? Or is it us, people, who are real evil creatures? I loved the philosophy of this novel. I for sure did not understand all of it. I want to read it again later. I've read it 3 times by now, and still I feel like certain things are above my knowledge and above my understanding. But hopefully the more times I read this book, the more I will understand. The next and the final book for today is The Dead Souls by Gogol. I absolutely adore this book. It's extremely hilarious. It's so funny. It's so lighthearted. We follow a man who pretends to be from a higher society, who pretends to be the landowner, who pretends that he has money, but basically he is just a regular worker, a clerk somewhere. And he goes to actual landowners trying to buy the souls of the serfs that have already died, but that have not been written as dead yet. There is no document saying that they died. That way, he can pretend that he actually has all of these people, that they're all alive, and he, by showing all of these people, basically the same way as we now would get a loan by showing how much money we have, he would show how many people he has, and he would be able to get a loan from the bank to buy land and to slowly start paying it back. And on his journey to different landowners, he of course meets completely different people. Some of them are younger, some of them are older, some of them are extremely stingy, some of them are extremely anxious, some of them are so fun and so friendly, but we see that something is off with them. So basically, by showing all of these different landowners, Gogol gives us a picture of Russian society, of what people were like. And what I absolutely love about this book, and what makes me sad, is the story behind it. Gogol wanted to write 3 parts in a book. It was supposed to be a trilogy. He wrote the first one that we now have. He wrote the second one, but he did not like what he wrote. So he burned the second part. We do have a couple chapters of part 2 that survived and that are included in the book, but we don't really know what exactly happened. These 2 chapters are kind of from the middle, so we don't know what happened in the beginning of the second book, we don't know what happened in the end, we don't know how Gogol wanted to finish this whole story, what the third book was supposed to be about. And what makes me very sad is that we will never find out what happened. And we could have found out more if it wasn't for the fire that destroyed the book. But what at the same time makes me extremely happy is that we do have a couple chapters, which is better than nothing. And we do have part 1, which is so nice to read. The food descriptions are some of my favorite parts. So I would highly recommend all of these 5 books. Please let me know what other Russian classics you would like me to read. Maybe we can read some of them together, or maybe I can just read a couple books and give you a review. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.